Hello, I will be reading Fear Garden. I've read 3 chapters of this on my tablet, but here we go. Oh wow, that's psychopathic. Late into the afternoon. By the way, I'm only reading chapter 1. Late into the afternoon, leaves gently fluttered through the air. Uriel City, an abandoned place lingering with mystery and nostalgia. Yet a few objects were vacant in the city, both illuminated, though they were in a tiny loser trainer. Feel pity. And those who were still competing, they were all wandered freely, exploring the city and the wonders behind it, or they stayed and did their daily chores such as gardening, of cleaning up their area of stay. I don't know, this is sort of confusing. They kept themselves busy each and every day. Oh my god, dismiss. That passed. The Uriel Needies stood high in the air with a cage swaying gently from side to side. Fiery sitting inside of it and screaming on the top of his lungs. Strange yet clever punishment given to him by the free smarters. Typical. Everything was going as usual as it was. The free smarters strolling through the city and soon heading towards the Uriel Needy. Fries was occupied tending his potato garden, while a few others hung around to keep him company. Courtney and Nickel chatted with Thrice about the day and the chilly temperatures it brought, while the scientist duo were fixing I think it's supposed to be up the wall teleporter they brought from the museum. Everyone was busy with their day, except one. In the far outskirts of the city was a luminescent garden, overflowing with life and glowing with beauty. Ever since they all arrived there, she found the perfect spot to be perfect for her garden. It's probably Pin. It does have Pin on the thing. Years of hard work has brought her such a lively and stunning garden, though. That's not how she felt. The owner of the garden, Pin, she was pacing. I knew it was Pin. Okay. She was pacing back and forth, her arms and hands trembling and breathing in her breathing heavy and anxious. Huh? What do you mean by her breathing heavy and anxious? The garden used to produce such a soft and soothing feeling to Pin that would usually help her calm down in moments like these. She wasn't someone who would get scared easily. No, she was loud and proud, a true leader at heart. I know there's swear words in this, but I'm just gonna go like I'll try to beep it out somehow, so yeah. But still, leaders do fall apart sometimes and need a moment to recollect themselves and fix up their mistakes. Can I leave? Yeah, I didn't. Okay, but Pin was falling apart. A few weeks back, a headerish nightmare woke her up from her peaceful slumber. She was standing in front of her garden, feeling strangely jubilant and powerful, such as a queen preparing for a celebration. The sky was as red as blood, with dark gloomy clouds drifting through the heavy air. In her small hands was a small cracked pot with dirt, a few small seeds inside. Also in the middle of these continents stood a hand. Oh god, no! I'm kidding. A cold, lifeless hand with drops of blood on the sides, wrapped around the wrist of a small tag, which once had the names covered onto it, but was soon drenched in blood, with grains of dirt on top. Jeez, they made this so, detailed. Also, yeah, this is my voice. I might sound weird just because I just woke up. Not like just, but okay. Around the garden, there was a dark and heavy fog through it though as Pin approached it, it vanished, revealing a garden of pure hands. Jesus! Hands that have been removed from their owners, lifeless fingers dangled downwards like weeping willow's branches, as the body of the owners of the hands were placed in multiple areas in the garden. Small tombstones were placed next to the corpses, revealing their names and what the purpose of the garden is. Pin walked through the garden, reading all the small tombstones. Flower brings a bit of beauty to the garden. Rocky, a stool. Match, helps the plants grow upright instead of slouched. She kept making her way through the garden. Wait, why am I not reading that? She continued making her way through the garden, until she arrived to a small corner with a hole buried into the dirt. A tombstone beside the open hole gleamed with the dark sunlight that hit it. There, it read the name, 𝙍𝙼𝙖𝙧. Pin's eyes snapped open as she jolted upright from her bed, letting out a startled gasp. Cap! Her face was pale and flushed, beads of sweat dripping down her face. Her eyes were bloodshot, and soon they began to fill with tears. She breathed quickly as she looked around the small room. Darkness stuffed the entire room, the only light coming from the moon, from the moon outside. What to say? From the moon outside. The room was cool, as if the nightly autumn air. Let me see how much I have. Oh, not much. Wow. Last time I tried to read chapter 1, it took me 2 days because I was bored. As if the nightly autumn air was giving her a loose hug. The door stood slightly ajar, revealing the darkness of the hallway, where another door could be seen. The slow ticking of a clock was the only thing that broke the silence of the night. She gently got out of bed and left her bedroom, her hands still trembling and cold to the touch. She walked down the hall. Soon she was standing in front of an orange-colored door. She hesitantly wrapped her hand around the knob and turned it, opening the door gently. As it opened, she took a peek inside to the object underneath the covers of his bed, letting out loud snores that echoed in the room. It was 𝙍𝙼𝙖. Hey, at least he's not dead. He was fast asleep, his arms wrapped around one of his pillows. A few wrappers from candy he found in the city lied around the room, as well as a few other pieces of treasure, in quotation marks, he found. It was odd seeing such a disheveled mess like this coming from him, but he'll clean it up soon. Pin stood there for a moment before slowly shutting the door and letting out a deep sigh of relief. She trudged back to her bedroom, convincing herself that it was just a crazy dream and that it wasn't real. Yeah, it was a nightmare, stupid. Do you not know what those are? It's literally called The Dream. Sorry, it's stretching. And that it all it wasn't real. But why couldn't she fall asleep afterwards? Why did the same nightmare occur 2 weeks later? The nightmare continued to rise repeatedly, and every day it ate away inside of Pin's mind. It got so bad to the point where she couldn't even wake up. She stopped pacing around the garden as she plopped down her knees in the soft bed of soil. She took a long breath and looked around at her garden. Okay, she mumbled. Oh my god, I can't do the voice acting. Okay, she mumbled. Whatever. That dream it isn't real. isn't that dream? It isn't real. Okay, there. It's just a dream, she looked up. It's just fake. It's not real. It won't happen. She hesitated towards the end of her sentence. Many questions still lingered in her mind. Why hands? Why the bodies? Why not just plants? She sighed and stood up. She began to walk back towards the city. I just hope that I can get sleep tonight, she whispered under her breath. Okay. That's the entire chapter. Read in 10 minutes. Wow. 10. Okay, fine. I'll read chapter 2 and then I'm done. What just happened? Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep paralysis, dream paralysis. How do you get back? Back. Yes. Okay, never mind. So, mature. Why are there so many parts? Gore. There's actual fear garden. This is just a different fear garden. Tennis ball, golf ball, teardrop, needle, my free smart up there, coiny, bubble, and pin with a really bad face. I thought she was actually happy for a second. Canada's fear garden, the girl. Oh, fear garden 2. Scarlet's bloom. I'm not even done with the first one. Okay. Oh, they're still making it? Jeez. How much are you? Okay. Bye.